Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, there's a heart. I hear the hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a love of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
Hello and welcome to this lovely, heartfelt episode of the Hornet Report. I'm your host, Carlee Brew, with the incredible Kris Hyun.
Stop it, Carlee. You're making me blush. I guess it's true that love is in the air now that Valentine's Day is near. Speaking of love, I'd love to hear about what stories are coming up next. What's in store for this week, Carlee?
This week's episode is chock full of adoring stories sent straight from Cupid's arrows. We'll start off today's episode with a story on the new fencing team at Holmdel High School from Stephen Siebel. Lainie Doran will give us a look at the mock trial team for this year and what's it all about. Then we'll go the distance with Angelina Nadi so she can show us what the Charity Miles Club has to offer our students. Finally, we'll round out the show with sports and the guy whose middle name is Cupid, Ben Sammut. Up first, did you know we have a fencing team at HHS? Steve Siebel made it a point to find out more at a recent practice. Steve?
So the million-dollar question is, how does a lifetime lacrosse guy become the head coach of the fencing team?
It's a good question, Steven. So probably back in the summertime, we found out that we were going to end up having a varsity fencing program this year, and our new AD, Mr. Kokoda, came to me and basically said, we need a fencing coach. You coach, kids. Do you want to do it? And I jumped at the opportunity. I've had friends who have done it before, so it always interests me. So I definitely right when I accepted the job, I started really looking into it and diving in with 2 feet, just kind of looking into it.
How did you get into fencing?
I had a friend who did fencing, so when I was looking for a sport to do, I decided to try it out, and I liked it, so now I'm still doing it.
Well, actually, my friend Alexi right here inspired me to start fencing, so I started doing it too.
For people who don't know what fencing is, give us a little something.
Oh man, so basically in the most simple terms possible, most people think sword fighting, which yes, I mean at first glance that's what it is. But there is a lot more that goes into it, in terms of point system. There's really 3 different styles that you can do. And as you kind of learn the game, learn the sport, there is a lot that goes into it. But really, in most simplest terms, it's sword fighting.
All right, so what's your go-to sword, and explain it?
I prefer épée because that's what my club mostly has, and that's the only one I've ever done. And I prefer French grip because I'm tall, and this gives me a longer reach, which helps me counterattack better.
I prefer épée too because I grew up doing épée. Well, I've been doing it for 1.5 years, and I did try other options, but I sort of like this one the most. And I also have a French grip because I have a longer reach.
Do you need prior fencing experience to join the team?
Absolutely not. We're about 50-50 right now. So about half of our team has previous fencing experience. The other half are brand new. They've done a great job. They've picked it up really fast, and they've found some success even in our first meet this year. So that was awesome.
What's it like to be part of this program?
It's amazing to be part of the school varsity team. I mean, everyone here is really nice, and it's really fun to fence with all of them. It's fun to practice, and yeah.
It's really fun to mentor other people and to teach other people how to fence. It's fun to give advice to others and show people what to do and how to do it.
How does the season look for you guys this year?
Being a new program, we're obviously going to take our lumps. Some kids are learning on the fly. I'm learning a few things on the fly. So far, so good. The kids have been great. They're open to, trying new things. They're learning really fast. So that's been really good. We got a few more meets here, so really excited, looking forward.
What are the short and long-term expectations?
Short term right now, get as many kids interested. Right now, currently we have 13 kids on our roster. We're hoping to grow that each year. But, in terms of right now, just get in here and learn as much as possible. We're really having a good time.
Thanks, Steve. It's super awesome to see that Holmdel is expanding the amount of sports offered to the student body. Good luck to Coach Quinn and the team in their first fencing season. Switching gears, it's time to go to court with the mock trial club. Lainie Doran has the verdict on her very own competitive mock trial team. Lainie?
Thanks, guys. A few weeks ago, our Holmdel High School mock trial team competed virtually in the annual Monmouth County Bar Association competition. In early November, they were given a case to analyze to later present in front of a real judge. This year's team was led by Presidents Chrissy Gabor and Christina Caden. Let's take a look at what they had to say about their successful season.
Trial is a team at Holmdel High School. There's 10 members and the team is split into two sides, so prosecution and defense. And on each side, there's 3 witnesses and 2 lawyers. So at the beginning of the year, we get a case. It's like about 80 pages, and we spend a couple of months analyzing the case, preparing examinations, preparing closing statements, opening statements. And in about January, we go to the Monmouth County Courthouse, and we actually go against other schools and battle it out like a real court case.
Today, you will hear testimony from numerous witnesses, which will compel you to conclude that the plaintiffs, Eli Adam, the estate of Nancy Adam, Eli's deceased mother, and Kai Cruz, Eli's friend, did not meet their burden of proving by preponderance of evidence that Officer Jamie Cato improperly arrested them on May 26, 2019.
How did COVID-19 affect the competition?
Though it was changed and we had to do every single practice on Zoom and the competition on Zoom, there was effort from both the Monmouth County Courthouse and the judges and the attorneys and our coaches.
Normally, every mock trial season, we'd meet after school pretty much every day leading up to the competition. But this year we had to do everything over Zoom, and the competition was also over Zoom. So we had to dress up in like our little suits and attend the competition, over a Zoom meeting.
On the night of May 26, 2019, all these 3 wanted was to simply get home after leaving a peaceful demonstration for the Numerians, a group who advocates for freedom and justice. But instead, they found themselves wrongfully arrested by Officer Jamie Cato after doing nothing wrong.
Students should try out for mock trial in the future because it allows you to get a taste of what law is like, or even if you're not interested in law, you get a chance to act as well. It also just helps with like reading and comprehension skills by looking more in depth into a case, looking at the rules for an attorney. You just become more astute. And
honestly, it's been the best experience that I've had all throughout high school. I've made so many friends from the team. It's been so good, helping my English skills, my writing skills. And before I joined mock trial, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after high school and college, but now after doing mock trial, I'm pretty sure that I want to do law and I want to study law.
Any tipping of the scales in favor of one party over the other will result in a victory. And I will now prove to you that the defendant's scale hangs far below the plaintiff's.
It's really good, if you want to try out something new, if you like acting, if you like, analyzing things, if you like debating, then mock trial would be great for you.
After receiving the highest score on the first night of the competition, the team set the bar high and automatically moved on, making it all the way to the last round of the semifinals. Great job, guys. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Lainie. It's so great to see so many Holmdel students taking the initiative towards a club that could shape their future. To follow that up, we have another story on a club with a cause. Let's toss it over to Angelina with the story.
Tell me about the main purpose or the main driving force of starting the Charity Miles Club.
Okay, well, the driving force, at least for me, this is, I believe, at least the second year. Mr. O'Connor was the former advisor, but Carlee came to me about doing the club. So what was the driving force to start it prior to my arrival, Carlee?
I had really just wanted to help support the community, and I had noticed that there was a lot of charities in need. And I have a family member with lymphoma, so I really wanted to support the cause. So I was, searching, and I found Charity Miles, which is a free app that allows members of the community to earn money for charities without having to put anything in necessarily, which I thought was really great for low-income students. And it was a great, cheap way for us to support the cancer patients in a way that doesn't cost any money and is getting something from what we're already doing, which is walking, running, any exercise we're already doing.
Good morning, Holmdel. It's a beautiful morning. I'm out for a lovely morning run. They closed down the pools. This is Miss Davidson. I'm trying to get in a couple extra miles for charity miles. Hope everybody's having a great day.
Tell me about the competition going on and how many miles we got so far, because I heard we got quite a lot.
Yes, so our competition actually ended Tuesday. We ended up with a winner who had over 100 miles, and that's just our one winner. And courtesy of Miss Davidson provided a gift card for the winner very generously. And so our competition was to see how many miles we could get in 2 weeks. So this was to encourage more miles so we could support more cancer patients. I think we probably racked up a few hundred or even 1,000 miles throughout this contest.
Wow. Okay, so what is one thing you would say to everyone watching this episode to encourage them to join this club?
I think this is a really great way to help a nonprofit club, and you don't even have to do any exercise. I mean, if you're on a sports team at Holmdel High School and you carry your phone with you anyways, you just turn the app on right before your practice.
I'm getting a couple extra miles for charity miles. You can join our club and raise money for the Leukemia Society also. They closed the pools this morning, so I thought it was a good morning for a run. Have a great day, Holmdel.
And you can earn money for charities that really desperately need it without having to do anything extra.
Great, thank you guys so much. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks, Angelina. 1,000 miles is a huge feat. Actually, 1,000 miles is 5,280,000 feet for those of you multiplying at home. I'm sorry. That's Mr. D with his bad dad joke again. He made me read it. Anyways, congratulations to anyone involved with the Charity Miles Club. This is what it's all about, getting active and spreading some love in the process. On the topic of getting active, Ben Sammut is here to deliver our sports package and a box of chocolates to wrap up our episode. Ben?
Thanks, Kris. The past 3 weeks have been non-stop for the winter sports teams. This past week, the boys basketball team defeated SJV 61-48 to improve their record to a perfect 5-0. They also swept Colts Neck and Mid-North. Meanwhile, the girls team lost to SJV, but they are still off to a great start at 4-1. Great job, Hornets. Keep it up. In other sports news, the winter track and swimming teams both start their seasons February 16th, so look out for all those events. I'm Ben Sammut, and that's The Buzz in Holmdel Sports.
Thanks, Ben. What a show! I've just loved hearing all of the wonderful stories. Before we wrap up this episode, a quick reminder to celebrate this Valentine's Day by telling your friends, family, and significant others how much you love and appreciate them. Between Corona and all this snow, you're probably going to be stuck indoors this Valentine's Day, but I can still feel the love in the air.
Totally agree, Carlee. Although I do hope that love is the only airborne thing that you'll be catching. Let's keep doing our part to stay 6 feet apart. And now, unfortunately, it's time to part ways.
Before we go, remember to follow us on our social media. Our Twitter and Instagram are at HHS Hornet Report, and our Snapchat is at Hornet Report.
Be sure to join us next week where we'll bring you this week's best at HHS.
Hornet!